is a place where you absolutely find my reactions, you find the best sports news, you get unfiltered reactions when it comes to a Manchester United fan and a sports fan in general. So today we are going to be talking about the Manchester Derby. It is a hard one. It is a hard one. Just to do a little recap, Manchester United won against Nottingham Forest. We defeated Nottingham Forest 1 goal to nothing. And so we are into the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. We are into the quarterfinals of the FA Cup, so that's a good thing. And then we have the situation now on Sunday. We are going to be playing the best team to work the Premier League, honestly. Arguably the best team to work the Premier League. We are going to be facing the likes of Kevin De Bruyne, KDB, and Haaland. That is not an easy feat. It is not an easy feat whatsoever, but we have to face them. And if we are looking to get into the top four, it is a situation that we have to come up with something. Now, do I expect us coming out with something? That's later on in the video. Later on in this live, I'm going to be telling you kind of what I see in the situations, kind of what I believe or what I feel like is going to be an easy win for us. And Yeah, we'll go from there. So we have, let me just look at the chat right now. Um, I'm sorry I can't see your name, but he says you're not winning, bro. Man City is a good team. I 100% agree with you. Manchester City is a really good team. I even hate saying their name. It doesn't just roll out of my mouth. But they are a good side. They are a good team. And I hate to see it, but um, as football fans, sometimes we are allowed to be delusional, and we are allowed to hope that the best can come out of Manchester or of the guys at that particular time. So we're gonna go through it for sure. Um, and so he most basically says they have a good player. They have good players, to be honest. Yes, Manchester City is the best squad assembled. Honestly, is the best squad assembled in the world right now. Now it rivals Real Madrid. Um, Real Madrid, I think, is the best squad assembled, but I think it rivals Real Madrid in every single way. So before we kind of go on further, I'm going to be talking about kind of a combined 11. Now, the question is, what is going to be my combined 11 for Manchester City versus Manchester United? Cassie, thanks for joining. What is the combined 11 for Manchester City versus Manchester United? This goes here. I'm going to go for Ederson in goal just because Andre Onana hasn't really done a lot this season and has been facing numerous shots and therefore kind of leading a lot of goals. I'm going to go on the right hand side, Kyle Walker. So he basically goes in there over Dalot, even though Dalot has basically had the season of his life. He has been the most consistent, currently for me right now, the best player for Manchester United this season. So he gets that position. And then we look at the centre back. It's not fun at this point. It's not fun at this point because I'm going to go with Stones and I'm going to go with Ruben Diaz. Um, it's not fun at this point. And so right now we have all Manchester City players. And then we go into the left back. The question is, do I believe Nathan Ake and is better than Luke Shaw this season? I don't think Nathan Ake is a better player than Luke Shaw. So Luke Shaw is someone that I would have put into the combined 11. But Luke Shaw, honestly, hasn't played any games this season. Like very, very few games. What's up, Envy? How you doing? He has played very few games this season, so it's a tough one to go on. And so I will go with Nathan Ake. So we basically have right now Manchester City's um, defense that as a combined 11, and then when we look to go into the midfield, I'm going Rodri because Casemiro has not had the greatest season, and Rodri has basically been dominating when it comes to the sitting six. And the other midfielders, I'm going to go with probably Kevin De Bruyne. Why am I saying probably? Of course, Kevin De Bruyne. And after Kevin De Bruyne, I'm going to go with Bernardo Silva. I think Bernardo Silva honestly can play any position in the front line and in the midfield apart from the six. I think the dude is just honestly ludicrous in terms of his talents. So it is sad to say that right now, Manchester City have every single player in the combined 11. And then if we go on the right hand side, um, Garnacho has been playing really well, but Phil Foden, it's not even a joke anymore. It's not a joke. Phil Foden coming off I think he's two games back, came off a hat trick. And he's literally stepping up to being one of the most reliable players for Manchester City. So I'm going with Phil Foden at the right hand side, and then in the middle, of course, I'm going to go with Erling Haaland. Um, even though, bear in mind, even though Rasmus Højlund has been the more informed striker in the Premier League, I'm going to go with Haaland because Rasmus is injured and Haaland just dropped a five-piece chicken nugget on Luton's head. Um, and then for the left hand side, I'm going to go with Jeremy Doku. So to be honest, a combined 11 is really not combined. It's Manchester City's team for the combined 11. And of course, for the coach, I'm going to go with Pep Guardiola because only one person in my mind can beat Pep Guardiola if he was in the position, and that's Sir Alex Ferguson. So, um, Pep Guardiola and Manchester City, that is my combined 11. It is a sad set of affairs to see that Manchester United I cannot field one player, one player, I cannot field one player for Manchester United in this combined 11. That is the saddest state of affairs for me. Not one player can I fit in this combined 11. Not one player can I fit in this combined 11. It is a sad state of affairs for Manchester United. Envy says your ball knowledge is elite. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I try to be as honest as I can. Like I love United. United, till the day I die. But it doesn't help that the team doesn't love the fans back. Because if they really did, they will fight. So we do not have to take this pie on our face every time that we're talking about a combined 11. The last 10 years, well, let me not say the last 10 years, but the last 5 years, you had to claw tooth and nail for you to absolutely say that Manchester United can have, the combined 11 can have three or four Manchester United players. That is how bad it has been. That is how bad it has been, and we absolutely need to figure it out. We absolutely need to figure it out, and that is where Sir Jim Ratcliffe has to come and play. He has to make Manchester United great again. I know that is a phrase that could trigger some people in America, but for us, it is absolutely spot on. It is absolutely spot on. Manchester United were and still remains the greatest club in England and one of the greatest clubs around the world. And so we need to get back to that. We absolutely need to get back to that. Let me see what's up in the chat. Let me say hi to everyone. Older mans, what's good? How you doing? Oh, there's someone here called Apple User. Welcome. How you guys doing, man? How you guys doing? Nobi, thanks for joining us. But yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. Sergeant Ratcliffe, Omar bin Rada, um, Dan Ashworth, Dave Brailsford, John Claude Blanc. All you guys need to settle down. All you guys need to focus and make Manchester United better, because this is a serious pie to the face. It's a serious slap to the face that I, as a United fan, cannot, with my journalistic integrity, sit down here and say that I would put one player in that Manchester City, Manchester United combined 11. I can't, because it's absolutely not true. Not one player sets foot into that team right now. Not one player. And that is a sad state of affairs. That is how much the giant has fallen. That is how much the giant has fallen. And they did not even need a David to hit us with a stone on our forehead. They didn't need that. It is truly a sad state of affairs. But we move on, and I'll talk to you guys. Let me talk to you guys about kind of what I believe Manchester City is going to do in the game. I think City is going to come into the game. Um, so let me look at the comments before I go into it. Envy says, "Sorry to predict, but in City, in current form, City will win." I'm telling you that the people in Vegas would absolutely agree with you. The people in Vegas will absolutely agree with you, because in current form, there's no arguments. Louis, thank you for dropping likes. I appreciate it, Louis. In current form, there's really no arguments. In current form, there's really no arguments. Messi and Kara says United 3-1. I'm telling you, if United win 3-1 against Manchester City, I'm going to come here on my regular live and I might lose it. I'm telling you, I might lose it on live just because of excitement. Because if Manchester City in this form could lose to Manchester United in this current form they're in, forget about it. Forget about it. I will lose my mind. But yeah, that's the thing. Let me talk about a little bit of a City in terms of what City is going to do. Um, I think with the likes of John Stones back, he's definitely going to play John Stones, because he's going to be looking to sit in front of Manchester United's 18-yard box. And last season, he was able to solve a lot more transitional issues. A lot more transitional issues with the likes of John Stones supporting the midfield. So he was clever enough, because he understood that having Rodri attack but still be needed to kind of sit in front of the defense was a problem, especially when they lost the ball and the other team broke in terms of a transition or a counter attack, because Manchester City lost a lot of games or lost a lot of goals due to a counter attack last season, and so he brought John Stones in. This is John Stones that is a centre back, but still has the ability and capability to actually be calm on the ball, pass, and also cover the stop the transitional um, offense with great transitional defense. So I think Manchester City is going to definitely play the back line that I played. and they are going to find a way for John Stones to be the man of the match. And if John Stones is the man of the match, Manchester United have lost this game. Absolutely, because that basically means he stopped a lot of transitions. He controlled the pace of the game. He started a lot of passes. He started a lot of attacks. Usually, he is one of the people that triggers the increase of pace. So Man City play this kind of game where they keep the ball, they keep the ball moving. But then there's one person that has a trigger, and you never know who has that trigger. It just has to be someone that hits the ball quicker than everyone else hit it, and that is usually the trigger. And John Stones and Rodri and Bernardo Silva and De Bruyne are usually those people that trigger the start of a faster play or a faster pace to the game. And that's how Manchester City basically hurt people. They pass the ball, they keep on passing the ball around you. You never know, but then they increase the pace, and boom, they're out of their blocks. They're finding ways to absolutely destroy you while you sit in your low block. That's the thing about Manchester City. And that's the thing, and that's what hurts a lot of teams because a lot of teams see them playing, and then someone will always drop out, or someone will always drop out of position, or someone will always be flat footed, or someone will always kind of sleep on what he's meant to do, and they capitalize on that. And that's the beautiful thing about City. They always know where to capitalize on. They always know who is sleeping. They always know what is about to happen. And they are always patient with finding those things. What's up, Classic Rich, man? How you doing, man? Welcome back. Envy says KDB has 12 goals and assists in 12 games since he came back. Yeah, KDB he's elite. KDB is an elite player. He is currently the best midfielder to play football. I know a lot of people can say, "Oh, Jude Bellingham," but KDB is still the best midfielder right now. Still the best midfielder right now. And the funny thing is that I believe that he would get a statue, or he deserves a statue at the Etihad. Yeah, so that's the thing. So now let's go to Manchester United. How do I feel Manchester United needs to play? How do I feel Manchester United needs to play? Now this is a key thing. Um, Envy, just give me 1 second, okay? I'll get back to you. Just give me 1 second, Envy. Just 1 second. Let me get into this Manchester United. Okay. All right. Let me bring you in. We can always talk about the game. What's up, Envy? I'm good, man. How you doing?
Like what United needs to do in order to capitalize and maybe win the game is let Manchester City have all the possession because that's how Pep Guardiola usually likes to play, and maybe capitalize on counter attack and beat them because that's the day that they beat them with the Rashford's goal. They beat Man City 2-1. That is exactly how they played. Man City had 70% possession in that game, but Man United came victorious. And if they do with that formula, and maybe if Rodri is playing, if he's not rested, they need to pretty much lock down Rodri because he's the player who makes the most impact other than KDB. And that's gonna break the back line of City, and that's. But if Bernardo is playing and KDB also playing, I'm not really sure if that happens. But if it's one or the other playing, if it's Rodri playing and not KDB, they need to pretty much lock down Kevin De Bruyne because if you lock down Kevin De Bruyne, respectfully speaking, I feel like Holland's not gonna do anything in terms of goal aspect because he needs that elite provider in order to perform. So I feel like if they just focus on counterattacks, I feel like Man United can come victorious. But I don't know. You can tell me your input.
Well, before I kind of go in, but let me just say what Rich says. Read the comments a little. Um, Classic Rich says, just here thinking about how we are going to fear, how we are going to fear on Sunday. Louise says, how do you think, or what do you think? What team do you think is better, Real Madrid or Manchester City? We're going to get into those questions because I want to talk about those things. But just to answer your question, MV, um, honestly, I think the person that's going to make the most impact, I don't think Rodri is going to be playing tomorrow. I think he might be injured, if I'm not mistaken.
Good.
So I don't know if that is true. You don't quote me on it yet. Or I have to kind of confirm, but I think he might be injured. I saw something today that he might be in doubts for the game on Sunday. Um, but the truth about it is, John Stones has always been a good replacement for Rodri. So it will just be them bringing Emmanuel Akanji into the defense and they're moving John Stones up. And let me say this about the about the locking of KDB. It's harder said than done.
Yeah, of course, of course.
The
He's an
question
elite
is
player. He knows how to
exactly what
maneuver when
Rich
he's locked
says.
down.
Exactly what Rich says. He says, "How do you stop Kevin from playing? Is that even possible?" That is the question. It's like he doesn't set one place. And that is the thing that Bruno Fernandez needs to be able to understand. Like he needs to be able to understand the movements, right? So KDB has a situation where he's free to go in the pocket wherever. So usually the pocket is the space between the defense and the midfield, the opponent's defense and midfield. He is free to go wherever he wants to go, and that is basically the messy role of Barcelona for Pep Guardiola. And
Yeah.
so with him moving that freely, he has the freedom to drop back. He has the freedom to go left. He has the freedom to go right. Except you are ready to sacrifice one player, and we don't even have that player anymore. The only person that I've seen that was able to successfully do that for an entire 90 minutes was Ander Herrera against Eden Hazard. That was the only person that was able to successfully do it for a really great player at his pop. So I don't think it's possible. And not just that, they also have Bernardo Silva. They also have Phil Foden. They also have Jeremy Doku.
I'll be honest. Doku is a bit overrated. He's not really all that of a player. That
No, but the
he's
truth,
very good on the ball, but in terms of productivity, like he doesn't really do much in terms of helping the team. He's really good on the ball, but a lot of times when I watch him, like I analyze his gameplay, he's just like he just does a whole bunch of nothing. If you understand what I'm
no,
trying to say.
100% understand what you mean, but I want you guys to understand the reason why Pep Guardiola bought what's his name, Jack
Doku.
Grealish,
Oh, God,
not
really?
Doku. I want to use Jack Grealish to kind of show you the archetype of Doku. The reason why they bought Jack Grealish is because Jack Grealish has this ability to gain fouls. He has this ability to draw two or three players to himself. And what happens when two or three players are drawn to one person that is holding the ball and dragging it to the top of his boots is that someone else is free. So when he drags you, and he's able to give the pass to the person that will give the pass to the person that is free, you have Manchester City already going to score. So the same thing when Manchester City understood that Jack Grealish is not as available as they would like. Plus, they usually need an additional person to make sure that there's competition in that role. They brought Jeremy Doku. Now, what does Jeremy Doku have as his pros? Jeremy Doku is a really quick player. He's a player too that can beat you on that left hand side, right? Now he has this problems of doing way too much before he drags people, or he has this problem of doing way too much before he does one thing. He reminds me a little bit of Anthony, but with a quickness to kind of bail himself out of it. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, 100%.
So I think he has the ability to become really good, but you still have to respect it, because you never know when he turns up and drops 3 assists a game, which he has done already. By the way, he has done already, and he has the ability to run on the bar line, check back, and who is there to get the ball? Phil Foden on his left foot, coming into from the right. Who is there to get the ball? De Bruyne. Who is there to get the ball? Erling Haaland. This is how Manchester City play, and that's why locking down one person as a tactic would absolutely shoot you in the foot, because you lock down one person, Pep Guardiola is gonna know that, okay, you are trying to lock down our what do you call this thing, um our outlet. He just takes the outlet out of the game, taking that player with him. You
Yeah.
understand? And he has the ability. I'm not saying taking where he substitute the person. I'm saying puts the person in a position that that person has to move all the way. And that's the problem that Hazard did not solve at that game against Manchester United. Hazard just kept on rotating in the middle, kept on rotating in his left hand side. And that's where Manchester United decided to play under Herrera. If Hazard had said, okay, well, follow me, I'm going to go to the midfield and play with Mike Obi Mikel, Herrera would have been out of position, and other Chelsea fans could do a lot more things. Now that equals into 10 and 10, but then I mean 9 and 9 outside players. But the truth about it is that you're losing a defensive player while kind of, I don't know how to explain it, but it's really not the best form to kind of handle Manchester City. That's what I'll say.
Yeah. No, I agree. But have you seen the rumors of next season Holland to Barca?
I did see that. I saw Deco
Yeah, yeah.
meeting with his
That,
agents.
that basically it's not uh stupid like fake rumor because what they said if they do that it is could be possible because the plan is to sell two expensive players that are gonna go
Mm-hmm.
for good in the market, and the rumors are they're gonna sell two, but the rumors are like there's three candidates. One is Rafinha to Tottenham for 70 million,
Uh-huh.
and one is Robert Lewandowski to Saudi, and the other one is Kunde. Those
Rafinha
are
to Tottenham is for 70
Kun.
mil. That is way too much.
Well, as Tottenham.
Jeez, that is way too much for Rafinha. Especially with the idea that
No,
Rafinha.
this season he is. I'm gonna be honest. I've been watching him. He is going under the radar. He is
Yeah, but
very much
he's not
being
a
a breakthrough.
starter.
Stats wise, he's been phenomenal.
He's not a
Contribution
starter.
wise to the team, he's being very very good.
Rafinha is not a
He's not the
starter for
Rafinha of
Barca.
last season. I'll tell you. I've been watching him every single day.
Rafinha is not a starter for Barcelona.
Well, he is and he isn't because we don't want to give Yamil Yamal too much pressure. So
But
technically, he is still a
it's
starter.
like everybody understands Barcelona's cards. Like, I'm not saying if you guys can get 70 mil for him, well, to each his own, honestly. Did good job because I wanted my United to go and ask for Rafinha at the time, because to me there's a fight, there's a skill, there's a hunger that he has, but of course Tottenham going in for him makes sense too. So, but 70 mil, Jesus.
Because no, because think about it. No disrespect, but Anthony was selling for 100, and
Well, Anthony's case wasn't really 100. It was because Anthony was priced for 50, right?
yeah, yeah,
Anthony was
right.
priced for 50. Manchester United just kept on playing a stupid game,
Yeah.
and
I remember that day. It was all
Ajax
over the
told
news.
them, hey, if you do not come at this certain time and we start our season, we are not going to sell him for anything less than blah blah blah. And Manchester United panicked and they were like, okay, we want him, we want him, we want him. After losing two huge games at the start of the season, and it's not Anthony is a 50 million pounds player,
I
right?
agree with
He's
that.
a
I'll be
fifty
honest.
million
Yes.
pounds player, but Manchester United stupidly went and bought him for 80 million. So I understand that the market has kind of been reset, but the good thing about soccer is not like the NFL where the quarterback resets the market and the market stays a certain way. Um, the you can reset it every single time with every buy. Um, if you are buying Rafinha for 70 mil, how much are you going to be buying Saka if Saka was on the market?
I just read it. Uh, that's why when I went to look up his full on stats. He have the Rafinha have the second most dribble success rate in La Liga currently. His stats are not perfect. He have 4 goals, 6 assists in La Liga,
Mm-hmm.
but he's more of a provider for the team, not a goal scorer. He have 10 goal creation, meaning uh, pre-assist. You know what I mean by that?
Yeah, I know,
Like
I know.
assist to an assist. Like he
Mm-hmm.
passed to a person passed to another person go. He have 10 goal contributions other than like pre-goal contributions this season, and also he's been injured. And as you said, which I do agree, he's not a full-on starter for Barcelona because of the talent that Yamil Yamal is showing
Yeah.
at the age of 16, which is sensational. Uh, he's this season. Uh, Rival fans like Madrid fans and or even some Barca fans that always hate on him for jokes and to be funny. This season he is being sensational compared to his last season form.
No,
Because
he's been
last season he was
effective.
behind Dembele and every time he played he wasn't really performing to the level. And also this season is the same. Last time he was behind Dembele, this season he's behind Yamil Yamal, but stats wise and contribution wise, he's been phenomenal. And I think that if he was like a starter for a team that is like with technical players like him and Son or Rafinha, for example, together,
Mm-hmm.
they can perform. I think that is why Tottenham are super interested. Also, Kunde is rumored to join Chelsea, by the way.
Oh God, God, no! It just can't. It can't. After what Conde did, when Chelsea got knocked out, I don't know what or lost. I just can't see it. Well, you probably can, but like, it don't make any sense. It won't. It's not. It's a bad taste in my mouth. But nah, I think Rafinha is a good player, and I think if you guys can get 70 mil, that would be a real good steal. Um, and every player is worth what someone else is ready to pay for them. So
Exactly.
if
Yeah.
you if you are ready to pay that, sure. I'm okay with that. It's not my money. Um, but the truth about it is, like, if you guys are able to get Erling Haaland, please take him, man. Take him away from the Premier League. because he is a phenomenal player. I would say this though, and I know I made a video about Rasmus Højlund and Erling Haaland, and I was comparing both of them, and I said this: Erling Haaland is a complete striker, while Rasmus Haaland has the ability to be a complete footballer. To me, they are a little bit different. So Erling Haaland in in Manchester City has the great ability to just sit, continue making runs for 90 minutes. He he has the ability, right, to not impact the game until he scores. And he also has that understanding that I just need to keep trying. I just need to keep running. I just need to keep making my runs, and KDB is going to find me one way or the other. But Rasmus Højlund, to me, has the ability to stay in the game, has the ability to drop down, has the ability to 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 hold up the play. You understand? So I think they are both similar players, but of course, Haaland has done a lot more. And the good thing about it is Barcelona is also a team that are very good at creating chances for their strikers.
This
Um,
it's this season specifically. We were rumored to him in the beginning of, and it was just a back then in the beginning of this season. It was just a rumor, no cover, no actual evidence, or it was just people saying we were linked to Holland, and I was super against it because I was like, Holland is not a good player. All he does is score goals. That's what I was saying. Everyone, I was saying I really don't want him to join my club. He's gonna be one of the worst players I've ever seen. That's what I was saying because our play style we had every striker we had was not super like only a goal scorer. We had the only player that was like a kind of a goal scorer, but he wasn't really was Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Eto wasn't a goal scorer; he was like a false nine. And Luis Suarez wasn't a goal scorer. Griezmann sometimes used to play as a striker in Barca with Messi, and he obviously was not a only goal scorer. And like we never had like an Holland style type of a player. And then as the season went on, I saw that Barcelona this season has had the most chances created in the whole of Europe, like compared to every team, Man City, every team in every league.
that
And
is
then
Javi's game.
I pretty much my eyes went open. I
Yeah,
realized we're creating all these chances, we're just not scoring.
yeah,
And I realized Holland could actually benefit. And then 3 months after that, Holland's link to Barca actually became very, very strong.
yeah.
The agents have been meeting, and I am
Xavi,
kind of excited now.
Xavi is a brilliant manager in getting the players in the places that they're meant to be. I don't know. Sometimes it pisses me off that Lewandowski doesn't sit in the box because he's older now. So you don't need to be doing what you were trying to do or you were doing in Bayern Munich. Just sit and accept all the gifts that your players are bringing to you. And that's why I say if Haaland goes to Barcelona, he has Victor Roque walking off him. He has Yamal on the left, I'll be on the right. He has the Young, or hopefully he comes to United. He has the
Uh,
Young in the midfield going through it. He has Xavi, he has Pedri. There are a lot of creative players for him, so he's not going to be starved of opportunities. And it's one thing when it comes to an elite striker scores 1 out of 2 chances. Haaland right now is 1 out of 2 chances. Last year, he was 1 out of 1. Every chance, average for last year, he put it in the net. That's the thing. So if you guys get Erling Haaland, you better accept him with full hands and legs. In fact, I don't know what to say, but he would do wonders for Barcelona. That is if your new coach plays him the right way.
Yeah.
Because he's a 6'5", I mean 6 foot, how tall? 6'4". Because he's a 6'4" striker doesn't mean he knows how to hold up play. He's not the greatest at that. Doesn't mean
Very good.
doesn't mean he would he you want to give him long balls. He's not the greatest at that. You need to give him the through passes. You need to give him the ball in front of him. You need to do the checkbacks. You need to cross the ball. You need to allow him to start his run. All those things that Pep Guardiola has literally, because Pep Guardiola, and people do not recognize this, Pep confirmed Manchester City to having Kevin De Bruyne and Haaland on the same team. What Man City was doing with Aguero was totally different.
Yeah.
Aguero was playing like a false nine. He would drop back, he would get the ball, and the team will push together, still playing the passes, and Aguero comes in late and bang. That's the same thing that Sir Alex did with Dimitar Berbatov. But with Haaland, the team is totally different. Now the team is a lot vertical. The team is not as horizontal. The team is not playing in the third spaces as much anymore. The team is going for the jugular at every single opportunity they can get. That is New Man City with Haaland in it. So it's going to be a really good contest to see because you have Haaland on Barcelona and Mbappe in Real Madrid. We can basically be having the Ballon d'Or
Ronaldo. Yeah.
competition for another 10 years. But
But to be honest, Holland is like one thing I'm scared of. Holland have a person. Holland's idol is Latan, and his father even said that my son wants to conquer and prove himself in every league. I'm scared that he was 2 years in Man City, 2 years in Barca, 2 years in I don't know Juventus, 2 years in MLS. Like he's gonna be literally Zlatan 2.0, and
no,
like
it's
people
going
like
to
that you
happen.
cannot rely on, which is
It's it's
sucks.
it's going to
If he
happen.
comes, I'll be happy for the moment, but in the long run, he always leaves. That's what Zlatan used to do.
No, but his career has been mapped out. His career has more or less been mapped out. His career, like there's a news that came out yesterday about the Napoli president. He says Mino Raiola, rest his soul, um, told him not to purchase Haaland from Salzburg because he already had a team that he wanted Haaland to go, which was Dortmund. Um, so, um, like his team is already mapped out in terms of the way I see it. Anyway, it has always been Molde, Salzburg, Dortmund, Manchester City. Now, this is the key place where I can make a mistake, but I've always thought it would have been Real Madrid. That is what I thought. But because of Real Madrid going for Mbappe, I do not think Mbappe and Bellingham, I don't think it will be fair or it would make sense financially to have those three players on one team.
I agree.
So I also believe there is going to also go when he's I think it might be next year. We never know because he has literally won everything with Manchester City.
Yeah.
Um, so it might be next year or when Pep leaves, which I also believe is next year. Um, he he has he goes to Barcelona, but then Barcelona, I think he then goes to Juventus. Um, I think from Barcelona, I think he goes to Juventus or PSG, because I feel like he does want to do what Zlatan did. Not just that, the money is better. The money is better if you do it that way, because everybody understands spending 2 years or spending a year at a job and moving to another job, you get an increase. It's as simple as that. It's basically simple. So if you do that multiple times, you basically get the maximum of what you could get sitting in one place quicker. So it might happen, it might not, but who knows? Anyway, let me go into a little bit of Manchester United and Manchester City before we kind of go, because I'm going live on TikTok and on YouTube, so I need to kind of feed the YouTube guys a little bit more. Um,
Okay.
so for and you can always pitch in here. For the Manchester United against Manchester City, of course, we have discussed in length about how I believe Manchester United needs to play, but I'm going to go a little bit. I kind of break it down just a little in the way that I feel the tactics needs to happen. I feel we need to have an understanding that we need to sit in a box. We need to be real compact, and we need to give Manchester City the flanks. Now, why do I say give Manchester City the flanks? Because I believe it's a lot harder for you to kind of operate with the sense of it's not just working out because there's no space to pass through. Manchester City are not very known for outside shots. They're usually open to, we want to get a tap in. We want to break into the 18-yard box to get the highest percentage of shot conversion. So that's Manchester City, and I believe it also has the ability for us, if we are compact, to open up a spring in terms of a shot for our really pacey wingers in Marcus Rashford and Garnacho to break out and get a counter attack. So in that case, I feel like my starting 11 will have to reflect that. Now, this is the key thing. This is the key thing. For my starting 11, I am going to be going with Andre Onana in goal. Diego Dallo, to me, our best player this season, most consistent. At
Sorry, we're talking about Man United starting 11 or combined starting 11?
No, Man United starting 11. The
Got
combined
it.
11 is just Manchester City, honestly. um,
Got
for
it.
the starting 11 for Manchester United, I'm going Andre Onana. I'm going Diego Dallo. I'm going. Oh, Rafael Varane might be injured.
Yeah.
But I
He's
think he
doubts for
played.
the game.
Yeah, he has doubts, but I'm going to go with Varane because I feel like this is a game where you fight to be on the field. I'm going to go now. This is the controversial thing. I'm going to go with Johnny Evans. My word, did I just say that against Manchester City? But I'm going to go with Johnny Evans, just for the ability to control the things in front of him. I feel like he has the experience and he's vocal enough to control the people in front of him. But if there's a break where he has to run to catch Haaland, that's over with. And for the left hand side, I'm going to go with Sofian Amrabat. Another problem, because we do not have a left back whatsoever, that is going to be problematic. In the midfield, I'm going to go with a pivot. Um, I'm going to go with a double pivot of Casemiro and Kobe Mano. I'm going to go with double pivot of Casemiro and Kobe Mano. Um, as the attacking midfielder, I'm always going to stick with Bruno because I know his talent, and I feel like this is a game that is made for someone like Bruno Fernandes. For the right hand side, I am going to go with. Oh, this is a tough one. I'm going to go with Alejandro Garnacho. I feel like we need to keep the consistency of what has worked for the last 2 months, because we were unbeaten from January to Fulham, and Fulham basically stopped our unbeaten run. So I'm going to go with Garnacho on the right, Rashford on the left, and Amad Diallo from the middle. Now, bear in mind, I am not trying to have a number nine. I am not trying to have a number nine sit because Amad Diallo is not tall enough. He's not quick enough to play against John Stones and Ruben Diaz. My ability and my tactical nuance in this case in bringing Amad Diallo is his abilities to make decisions, is his abilities to pass. Amad Diallo, when he was playing for Sunderland, had a free role for his club where his coach says, I trust you to make the decisions offensively. I trust you to make the decisions. And that gave him 14 goals and I think 7 assists for Sunderland last season. And so, in my head, the attacking prowess for Manchester United will come from the flanks with Ahmad and Bruno being compact enough where they are the creative outlets for us. So I believe Ahmad Diallo would be have the ability to understand his role where he drops back and allows the space for either Garnacho or for Rashford to kind of spam in while having the ability to arrive late in the box, while having the ability to pass or to check in or to check out with Ahmad on the left hand side of the field and Bruno on the right hand side of the field. So that I feel like we need to have a box in the midfield at every single time to be compact. And I feel Ahmad and Bruno with Casemiro and Meno would be able to give us that. So that would be my first 11 for Manchester United against Manchester City. And I feel like having the flanks and having Ahmad be able to utilize those weaknesses in transitions that kind of raise ugly head for Manchester City, that would be the way for us to go. Just kind of wrapping up everything with the YouTube here. My prediction for Manchester City versus United. Or before I do that, Envy, do you have anything to kind of chime in?
Based on the lineup, I totally agree with all the injuries and the players that you have, the team have available. I think that is the best starting 11 to go with to go in the team. Yeah. But obviously, we know that Varane is in doubt. But hopefully, like you mentioned, that he could be able to fight for his place and make it to the derby.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one if we do not have Varane in that team because, of course, Varane is a Rolls Royce of a defender. He's the quickest defender that we have in the team, even with um, with Martinez back from injury. He's still the quickest. So we definitely need to do a lot of work for Manchester United to figure out how to get defenders that are mobile. Rich says, quick question: why was Regular not allowed to stay until the end of the season? It's for financial reasons, man. Manchester United were looking for, due to the injuries of Malacia and Luke Shaw, Manchester United had to go into the market um, to get a left back that would play because it's very hard to not have a left back. Um, but they also kind of put a clause because Manchester United do not want to pay because of the FFP situations. Do not want to pay a certain amount of players' wages because we had to cover on the entirety of his wages. So they felt for 6 months we will be able to cover that, and we need to then break it. That's why the deal with the Chelsea player, I forgot Kukurea, did not work because Chelsea did not want you to break the deal. They want you to play or loan Kukurea out for a whole year, um, and Tottenham agreed to that. Yes, you can break the loan, and come January, that's where I lost it because I was like, we know Luke Shaw is not yet fit, and Malasia is not anywhere to be found. It looks like they just took Malasia somewhere else. And he hasn't played this entire season. you know that was the case. Why don't you just hold on to him? Why do you still need to activate the break in the clause of the loan deal? That was my question. But of course, now we are suffering it, and that's the problem. We are suffering it, but hopefully, Sufyan Amrabat can do a job for us on Sunday.
I found a pretty bad news.
Oh no! Don't
I
tell
saw
me.
on Twitter right now that next week Barcelona is gonna extend Frankie de Jong's contract until 2029.
That's good. The better.
It's fortunate. Well, to be honest, he never showed. As a Barca fan, I have to say, I mean, I'm happy, but I have to like for United fans, I have to. But he never truly showed interest to join United. He even came public, said that one of the English interviewers asked him last time. He said one of the biggest clubs in England, known as Man United, wants you. What is your opinion? He said that I'm already at the biggest club in the world, and I'm looking to stay for many years. So he pretty much was
Now,
never like him himself was not interested
now we
in the
knew all
move.
that. We knew that. He doesn't. That's his dream club. It's like me being a professional footballer, and I'm already a Manchester United, and
Yeah,
Real Madrid. Let me not even say Real Madrid. Let me say Bayern Munich is trying to come get me. Like, no, I'm not going nowhere. Especially, especially because of I am meant to be the sacrificial lamb. Because they Barcelona don't want to get rid of De Jong, right?
they don't.
They don't. It's because of their financial issues that they felt like they had to. Um, so now that they are fixing their finances, and one thing that Barcelona is doing that a lot of teams need to start doing is Barcelona are going to be the sponsors and producers of their own jerseys,
Yeah.
so they can keep 100% of the profit. That's smart to me, because now they would have a lot more wiggle room. That is just creative from their president. That is just him finding. It's like, that kind of feeling when you're trying to wash your trousers, and you put your hand in your pocket and you find $100. You know that kind of feeling is something else. It is like, oh damn, I just found free money, even though it's your money. You just felt like, oh, I did not really have a use for this, but I found it. But they do have a use for the money that they find it, and it's pretty creative. But one thing I would say is breaking a contract with Nike will cost a lot more for right now than you would like. So it's
I
not
don't think
going
they're
to be
gonna.
it's not going to
Those
be the
are rumors,
following.
but I don't think they're gonna do that. I do think they're gonna go with their own sponsors. But for all the Twitter talk, obviously you're not. You're very educated, but for other people here that are kind of like a Twitter warriors,
Mhm.
Barcelona last season, for context speaking, Barcelona last season made 185 million euros on shirt sales, which is more than any team in La Liga.
Mhm.
And believe it or not, which is very messed up to say, but out of 185 million euros, Barcelona went home in their own in the club's pocket only 35 million. The rest went into Nike, and that is the reason that they're not interested in
It's a
working
sixty
with
forty deal.
Nike, especially Nike anymore, because Nike using Barca as a brand to make more revenue, because they sell more shirts than Barcelona is their most shirt sales for every club that Nike owns,
Mhm.
and they're using it to make more sporting revenue instead of helping the club and promoting their own brand, and that is why Barca is very
No,
angry at Nike.
no,
And
it's not even just that though. It's like Barcelona, Nike pays Barcelona a large sum to sponsor their shirts,
yeah,
and to design it, so they do get paid for it. But they just also have like a residual agreement in saying, hey, we also want rights to when you sell. these shirts, we also want part of it. And so the negotiations, I'm not sure of what it is, but the negotiation probably is a 60 or 40, allegedly anyway. I don't want Nike to sue my butt. Uh, but like that's what it looks like. And with Barcelona going into it, they see, they were like, maybe Nike is giving us 100 million to sponsor, to have a sponsor on our jersey, but then they're also making 65 plus the ones that they make outside Barcelona. You get, um, so it's like it's not working for them, and in their head they feel like, oh, maybe we can create this in house and then make 100% of the money. Now, bear in mind, it might not be as fun as it sounds at first, because that means a lot of money in manufacturing, that means a lot of um, making sure that this thing goes out into the world. So you have a lot of money in distributions, in manufacturing, in taking pictures, in the campaign itself. So it's not easy said and done. It's not like printing the shirt in your basement and just putting it out there. So
Yeah,
in the long
that's
run,
exactly why
it
I don't
might
think it's
work.
a super smart decision financially speaking. I mean, financially, if it works out and they could make as much sales that they do with Nike Barca,
Mhm.
with Barca, and uh, but if it, I'm only worried about the negative. What if it fails? What if it doesn't? What if we are not number one, like how we were last season in shirt sales this
Yeah,
season? Like I'm talking about next season. If that happens next season, what if we are not even top 10 in La Liga shirt sales? And
I
that is
think,
gonna hurt us a
yeah,
lot in
no,
financially.
absolutely,
And
absolutely. I
I
think,
think because in this DNA age, a lot of kids and a lot of people below the age of 20 or 19 or like some 30-year-olds, they usually go to a specific brand store like Puma, Nike, Adidas especially, and they buy a jersey of their club. And a lot of if they do that, they gotta go global, and going global is takes a lot of finances, because if they're gonna only sell shares, distribute only in Barcelona, especially Catalonia, someone like me, I'm not gonna be able to own a Barca shirt anymore because I buy their shirts every single season. I've been doing it for 20 years actually, and I cannot do that anymore because I don't have access to buy their shirts, and then I have to start buying knockout, which I really dislike.
yeah.
And
So that's the thing. That's the con
that is what I'm
of
worried
it.
about.
Yeah.
That they cannot make as much finances as they do now with Nike by themselves. And I
Mhm.
think they should go with a brand still. If it's not Nike, if they don't like Nike, go with Adidas. If they don't like Adidas due to them being influenced by like Real Madrid or Bayern Munich, to Barca's rivals past like 10 years, Bayern especially past 10 years, Real Madrid past 100 years, maybe go with Puma. And Puma recently have gotten a lot of success due to Man City's glory, and they've been making a lot of profit for Man City. And I'm pretty sure if they get Barca, Barca can, because Barca is Barca, they can make obviously a lot more than their Man City franchise shirts. And
Um,
my opinion, I still think they need to go with a brand.
No, I understand, and I do agree with you on them going for the brand. I just think it might be a ploy to open the bidding war. I feel like it might be a ploy for them saying, "Hey, we are gonna break this contract if you do not get us better deal," because Barcelona is the product, um, and so their image is also very valuable. So I think them breaking, or and bear in mind, I've not confirmed whether this is actually true that they're doing this. So don't quote me on it. It's just something that I saw in passing. But if they if they break the deal and they open it to, hey, I want you guys to give me a bid of what you think sponsoring Barcelona is worth, and give me a deal that would work for Barcelona. So instead of you having me 60-40, how about we do 55 55? Or how about, no, that doesn't mathematically work. 55-45. Um, or we do 50-50. Or you give me 60, I will take 40. So I feel like there is a deal to be made, and financially, or for the international brand. Oh, how about this? Instead of going with Nike, you go with Jordan brand.
Oh yeah, they're different.
You
Completely forgot
understand?
about that. That's
The
what PSG did last season.
Yeah,
Their sponsor was not Nike, it was Jordan. This season
today.
is Nike, but last season it
So
was Jordan.
so so doing Jordan brand, focusing on Jordan brand. If there's one thing that Americans, being that I am here right now, love the most, is something that has that logo of Michael Jordan holding the ball in the air. I'm telling you, they will buy anything that has that logo. You see a lot of people like Kim Kardashian, her son, this. You see a lot of people wearing PSG's outfit just with that logo.
Yeah,
So,
from last season.
so
Yeah.
if you want to open your markets to more than just Catalonians and to more than Europe that loves football, you go with Jordan Brand. And that's one thing that I've always said Manchester United can dominate the world of football if they do that. If they go with, like, there was a time Supreme was crazy, crazy big. I was like, Supreme is red and white. Manchester United is red and white and black. That is a simple collab that would make a lot more sense and a lot more dollars. And I'm not saying that you should do the playing shirt. I'm saying the training outfit. You understand?
Yeah.
So doing the training outfit, usually now nobody is buying the training tracksuits for the teams. Those teams are usually it's on there for you to purchase, but nobody wants to purchase them because you're really not racking them. You understand? Except you're a hardcore fan like us that would want to rock the training kit, to rock the jersey while we play. You understand? So it's like before we get to the field, we're rocking the training kit. We get to the field, we take off the training kit, and then we have the playing kit on. So that's the thing. I feel like there's so many ways to do it. There's a lot of there's Uniqlo, that is a Europe brand, that you could absolutely use. There's so many places. There's so many things. Manchester United, you need to come hire me, man, because I will change a lot of stuff quick. But no, Barcelona has, like, the brands, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Manchester United, Bayern Munich. Those brands are big enough where they can collab with every single part of them, where they will bring a lot more money. You
I
understand?
agree.
Um, Socks, um, training kits. Um, of course, you already know that they do a lot more collabs. Like Manchester United has a telecommunication collab where majority of their players, or the telecom that Manchester United use in Carrington, is part of the sponsor. We at one time had a kitchen, is a home improvement sponsor that was also pretty big. I think it's Kohler. Um, that was pretty big too. So we had some things too to go in that situation. But like I'm saying, like, you have a lot of opportunities to open the bag. You have opportunities to get more money, to do more sponsorships, to make the clubs more marketable, to make more money. And when you make more money, Hepas cannot. I think that's his name, the La Liga president. cannot stop you from spending it if you make more money. So to me, that's one way to go. Anyway, for the YouTube, I hope you guys are absolutely enjoying the live so far. My predictions for the Manchester City versus Manchester United. My word, I hope it is a 1-1 draw. Um,
I
and I
don't think you're
also,
keeping it realistic. I'll be honest.
if I'm realistic, I just can't say it. I can't say it. I can't say it because it might be a massacre. If it comes, it just might be. I
8-0.
just I can't say it honestly. If I want to be straight up with you,
You'll be in big trouble.
if I speak, I'll be in big trouble. If I speak, I will be in big trouble. Like my eyes are red and are watering just because of how bad that I feel the games are going to be or the game is going to be. Rich says being real is not 1-1 draw. That is my hope, Rich. You get me? Now my hope be that. That is what I hope it's going to be. But
Being real, I think if since obviously I'm gonna be watching the game, but since I'm gonna be like a neutral person,
mm,
I think it's gonna be 3-0. I'm gonna be honest. If I'm gonna be realistic.
man, if you see,
That's me being very realistic. Like no bias, no
understandable,
nothing. With current form and the current team that City have and the like the record that they have, they never lost a game with Rodri, and if Rodri also plays, it's gonna be easily 3-0. And I hope it doesn't happen, but Holland hat trick. But I don't know.
bruh. You
It'll
better
be it'll
stop
be
that.
crazy. I don't
Uh,
think Holland hat trick.
what's
I'll be
up,
honest.
Carl? I think every is trying to get your this thing. Rich says we are staring down 4-0 road right now. I am not gonna lie. I had that same number in my mind. I felt it might be a 4-0 massacre. And you know that kind of massacre where it's like it's 4-0, but it could have been 8-0.
Oh, one
You
of
understand?
those.
You know, it's like it is 4-0, but they played us out of the park so much that Andre Onana saved.
Like
Um,
4-0 with
s-
Onana Masterclass? Is that what you're referring at?
exactly.
That'll be
Kyle
crazy.
says, "Yo, bro, tell your guest Kyle said hi." Yo, Kyle the curler says hi. Envy.
How you doing, man?
Kyle wants to talk to you desperately. Um,
And if you come on TikTok, you can join our live.
Kyle, did you hear that? You say you can join the live. Furthermore, we are away with a weak team. You are absolutely right. Um, it's a tough one that majority of our starting 11 is injured. But what can we say, man? It's it's part of the game. We have to find a way to play. If it means him using the academy players, he has to. So we just have to fight. We have to fight. That's one thing that I've always noticed with Eddie Howe's team in Newcastle is that they run. Well, except from Arsenal's game, they played like straight up doo doo at Arsenal. But for the rest of it, with the injuries that they have, because they have quite similar injury records to us, to Manchester United, but they run their behinds off. Manchester United needs to run. Every single person on that pitch needs to at least to have run 13 kilometers by the end of that 90 minutes. And I know that's crazy, but they need to run. Rich says Eric Ten Hag doesn't have the guts and confidence to use the academy players. Well, he is already using the academy players. Rich,
Yeah,
come
I
on
was just
now,
about to say that. He is.
come on
I
now.
thought
He's
he was.
Kobe Baino, academy player. Garnacho, academy player. Fosun, academy player. Rashford, academy player. McTominay, academy player.
What is the name of Man United's academy? Obviously, for us, is La Masia. What is the name of Man United's? I actually have no idea.
Man United under 21s,
Oh,
under
very
18s.
basic name.
It's nothing. La Masia is just because, of course, it's Barcelona, and they, of course, that's also another branding tactic that was great because you hear La Masia, everybody understands what it is. Um, understands what it is, but for us, I think it's just Manchester United academies. Or, and you know the funny thing, um, there is such an opportunity that it should have been named the 92s or the team whatever, because the most successful team from the academy came from the I think the 92s, right, with Gary Neville, Ryan Giggs, David Beckham, um, Phil Neville, Nicky
It's
Butt.
crazy to think about that. Sir Alex Ferguson had a rule that no academy player is allowed to wear fancy shoes, and they need to wear shoes that are provided